they do not call law enforcement because of a state policy in the University of California systems. The only time that they would call the police would be if there was an imminent threat to school safety, or if things had gotten to a point where education was being disrupted. I think it's hard to say that education would not have been disrupted and that this riot or attack, or whatever you want to call it, wasn't a threat to imminent student safety. As far as those that were injured, I don't believe any have been transported to the hospital via any paramedic services or anything like that. I think most of them have gotten treatment sort of on site, either in the encampment or in the case of being pepper sprayed or bear maced people with water. I saw one gentleman getting milk poured all over his face in order to soothe the pain.
Jean Bagner-Kamika, we appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Good to have you.
Well, Gabriel Elizondo's got more about what's happening where he is. He's outside Columbia University in New York. Give us an update on what's been going on overnight, Gabe.
Well, a lot of people here in New York are waking up to the events that transpired overnight here at Columbia University. As you might be able to see behind me, the university is still closed. There are police outside the main gate there, and no one is allowed to go on campus unless you're a student. Journalists as well are not allowed on campus. And essentially everything at this point is pretty calm, as you can see after the events from overnight, when we saw that violent repression by the police as hundreds of police went on campus to violently arrest dozens of the pro-Palestine protesters, anti-war protesters that were there. Now, we are expecting to hear from the mayor, Eric Adams. We think he's going to be speaking in the next few minutes or so. And we're also waiting to hear a more update from NYPD, New York Police, on exactly how many anti-war protesters they arrested and what they will be charged with.
Yeah, that is the next question, isn't it? Because quite often, as we've seen in the past, that some people have been arrested at the scene and then subsequently let go. Do we have any indication yet of how many may actually be charged with anything? And if so, what they could be charged with?
We don't know how many will be charged. Just to give you an idea, we believe that there were dozens of anti-war protesters arrested. We still need to get an exact number, by the way. They were arresting people, putting them in buses, and taking them to police headquarters. We should be hearing later today about exact numbers. Just because someone is detained or arrested by the police here in New York does not necessarily mean they committed a crime. That will be up to the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg. The police will give him reports of what they believe the charges should be, but then it's ultimately up to the Manhattan District Attorney to decide if any charges will be brought forward. They could be quite minor, quite frankly. It could just be something as minor as trespassing. I don't know. We don't want to speculate. But listen, again, just because the anti-war protesters were detained, were arrested, does not necessarily mean that they will be charged with the crime. We expect to hear from the District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, perhaps as early as later today.
Gabriel Elizondo outside Columbia University in New York. Gabe, thank you very much indeed.